Well, we're going to start in the association with our NBA panel. DraftKings contributor Garion Thorne, DK Live junior sports editor Chinmay Vaidya, and RotoWire's Nick Whalen. Fellas, it is NBA shoot-around time. So we are breaking down tonight's best DFS and sportsbook plays for the 8-game slate. So let's start with DFS. Garion, who is your absolute must-roster favorite player tonight?
Yes, we've got the 4 absolute studs up over 11K tonight, and I think if you're trying to figure out which of those 4 you're starting your lineups with, I'm probably going to lean towards Giannis. The potential up-tempo script of that Denver OKC game is a little enticing, but as we saw in the Nuggets' last contest against Portland, Jokic might only play like 26 minutes. He still grabbed, I think it was like 18 rebounds in those 26 minutes, but he only scored 8 points, and he was held under 50 DraftKings points. Giannis, this should be a highly competitive game against the Heat. Obviously, the Heat are not an opponent you love to face in a DFS perspective, but Milwaukee kind of provide their own environment. They are an up-tempo team. They are 5th in pace across the last 10 games. That has been consistent across the entirety of the season. And Giannis has kind of reached that Jokic territory of efficiency in the last little bit. His last 11 starts, he's averaging 1.84 DraftKings points per minute played. So if he's in a situation tonight where he's getting anywhere close to 35 minutes in a competitive script against a team Milwaukee has to catch in the Eastern Conference playoff standings, he's going to have a massive night. So I think Giannis is my 1-8 on Wednesday.
All right, Chinmay, are you going with one of those 4 studs who are over 11K?
I think I have to, and I think it's obvious, when you have the top 3 front runners for MVP, those are the guys that you have to go with. And the Sixers and Nuggets are likely going to be in blowout games. But I'm going to go with James Harden as the perimeter guy. I think he has more upside than Embiid in terms of 3-pointers and assists. And he's played really well in his first 2 games in Philly. And both of those guys are good plays, but I really like James Harden in this one. I think he has continued to show why he is one of the best players in the league when he's right, and he's finally right in Philadelphia. So James Harden has a little more upside than Embiid to me, so I'm going to go with the beard.
All right, Nick, who is your absolute must-roster favorite player tonight?
Yeah, I think for me it would be Harden as well. I kind of want to ride this out, this, I guess honeymoon period that he has with the 76ers, where, I think a lot of people thought, former MVP James Harden, like that guy was gone. A lot of people thought, as he moved into his kind of closer to his mid-30s, we were going to see a different phase of James Harden's career. And as it turns out, he just wasn't really trying in Brooklyn and could immediately flip that switch. And we've seen it in his first 2 games with the Sixers. So, James Harden looks like 2018 MVP James Harden. So I want to ride this out as long as I can. You can't necessarily depend on getting 16 assists and 5 steals like he had against the Knicks in their last game. That's not going to happen every night, but the points should be there, the rebound should be there, and 8 to 12 assists is pretty realistic on a nightly basis. So he's my favorite pay up play on this slate. I'd also look at SGA against Denver. He's at 10K. The Thunder have, I think, 7 guys already ruled out of this game. More could possibly be coming before tip-off. So it's going to be the SGA show. No Dort, no Giddey. Basically, as long as OKC can keep this game respectable and can justify keeping SGA in the game, he's going to be by far, far and away the main option for that team.